Good morning. I'm Sarah Pearson in the News 2 Alert Center with your Morning Pulse. The impact of the Nebraska wildfires is ongoing, and one family in Grant County is still trying to pick up the pieces. Grant County is still recovering after the Ashby fire forced residents to evacuate with very little warning. I spoke with one official who was on the front lines when it all started. Sandhills Fire Protection District Chief Tom Ferguson says the fire looked small at first, but conditions changed fast.
When the fire that started about 3 miles southwest of here started to climb the hill, we deployed to the highway to defend. We were paged out at 11:30. By the time we got to the scene, the fire was maybe 3 acres and it was calm. And then once the wind started shifting to the northwest, it grew very, very rapidly.
He also says crews from across the region rushed in, dozens of departments and hundreds of volunteers leaving their own districts to help out.
We had, hundreds of volunteers. They worked great. Big thank you to them. The departments that allowed their assets to leave their fire district to help us, their fire boards. Yeah, it was an amazing effort.
And he has a message for the community.
I just want everybody to just take it one day at a time. I mean, we can't control Mother Nature, so we'll just get through it.
Fire officials say that crews will continue to monitor hotspots as conditions change and encourage residents to follow burn bans and report any smoke. We will bring you all the recovery updates both on air and online. Reporting in Ashby, I'm Sarah Pearson with KNOP News 2. And crews are making significant progress in Grant County, thanks in part to the cooler weather. Currently, the Morrill, Cottonwood, Road 203, and Anderson Bridge fires remain at 100% containment. Those fires alone have burned over 824,000 acres. The Ashby fire in Grant County has burned 36,000 acres and is 97% contained. The Minor fire, also in Grant County, has burned over 14,000 acres and sits at 85% containment. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins spoke on this yesterday.
Fifth, sixth, seventh generation that were wiped out in a matter of hours. It was absolutely heartbreaking and devastating. I did a similar roundtable with the local ranchers, and in fact, I put them all in an email, and we're all emailing every day, going through what the most important thing we can do.
Governor Pillen declared emergencies in counties impacted by the Morrill, Cottonwood, and Anderson Bridge fires. He also extended the burn ban to April 10th. As crews continue to monitor hotspots in the Cottonwood fire burn area, Lincoln County leaders are also highlighting the volunteer efforts that kept firefighters and evacuees fed. During an update to the county commissioners, officials said one support group served tens of thousands of meals at the height of the response.
The rough estimate was in excess of 20,000 meals had been made and fed to local responders, out-of-state responders, displaced homeowners or residents. Anybody that needed a meal got fed very well.
North Platte police are cracking down on distracted driving as part of a national Put the Phone Away or Pay campaign. The enforcement runs April 9th through April 13th. Distracted driving means doing anything behind the wheel that takes your focus off the road. In 2023, nationwide, 3,275 people were killed and nearly 325,000 were injured in crashes involving distracted drivers. Police say the number one distraction is the cell phone, and studies show drivers using their phones are 240% more likely to be in a crash. The North Platte Police Department is urging drivers to put the phone down and keep their eyes on the road. In the Oval Office yesterday, President Trump signed an executive order that targets mail-in voting. The president's order reportedly calls for the Department of Homeland Security to create a list of verified U.S. citizens who are eligible to vote. The U.S. Postal Service would be directed to take new measures to ensure ballots are sent to eligible voters. That would include a barcode placed on ballot envelopes. U.S. states, not the president, have the broad authority to run elections. And in sports, the Nebraska women's gymnastics team kicks off their postseason run, taking on Air Force in the first round of the Baton Rouge Regional today. The meet starts at 2 p.m. and can be seen on ESPN+.
Well, hi, everybody. Good morning. To meteorologist Travis Klineski here on this Wednesday morning. Welcome to April, and it's no joke. Yes, even though it is April Fool's Day, yes, we have rain potential on the way. Now, I will tell you right now with the caveat, there are going to be some places, some people that are going to be disappointed by this rain because this is not going to fall everywhere. A lot of us are going to get some rain. Some places are going to get some decent rain. Other places, the rain is going to be very, very limited. So far this morning, very limited moisture, mainly now in north central Nebraska in the form of some light snow and or rain. It's not sticking. The snow's not sticking, so it's extremely limited, but there is maybe a slight reduction in the visibility up there this morning. But again, later today, lots of clouds today. Later today, towards 4, 5, 6 o'clock, rain chances start to develop here and become more widespread into this evening. And in fact, as we get closer to midnight, maybe starting to see some embedded lightning and thunder. Maybe a little snow up here to the northwest. I think the snow is mostly going to be confined to our northwestern areas here, so most of us will not see snow. It'll be too warm for that. But again, maybe starting to see some embedded lightning and thunder here and more convection, I think, especially after midnight here. Look what happens there. And I'll even back this up here so you can see it in slow motion one more time. Look at that. The rain and isolated thunderstorms. The severe weather threat's pretty limited, though, mainly far southeastern parts of our area here. By 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, there's our low pressure right around York. Best chances of moisture north and east of that low. Somewhere in here, there's going to be some drier air where the moisture is going to be very limited. I'll back this up a little bit here. Look at all that dry air in the south and southwest. So those areas are going to get the lowest amounts of rainfall with this system. On the back side of this system, again, that's going to be clearing on out here Thursday as the day goes on. In fact, by noon, there's noon right there. By noon, most of the moisture is done. Still some lingering clouds, but the sun's coming out west. That sun will start to spread northeastward here. So a pretty nice afternoon out to the west and to the southwest, staying a little cooler off to the northeast. Strongest winds over eastern Nebraska will be moving away as that system moves on out of here. On the backside of the system, here comes the next one, though, but this one's going to bring us more disappointment than anything. So Thursday night into Friday morning, clouds begin to return here by Friday morning, but notice that the moisture is very limited on Friday. Most of it will remain to our north and to our east on Friday. So unfortunately, we just get the cooler air and the winds on the backside of that system. We're going to have some pretty brisk northerly winds, a little bit of rain, better chances as you go towards eastern Nebraska, a little snow up north, but most of us will miss out on some of that moisture. I'll back this up so you can see it one more time. So again, right there. Not a lot of moisture, unfortunately. Eastern Nebraska has a better chance than anybody else. There are some low-end chances of severe weather. Let's go back to today. And again, severe weather possible far southeastern areas, but for most of us, it's going to be non-severe thunderstorms. This is mainly tonight, overnight tonight. A little tiny hail, some gusty winds, lightning and thunder, but not expecting severe weather for most areas. Jumping ahead to, actually before I even jump ahead to the Friday chance here, I do want to actually bring up a map, a larger map, and this is more of the regional map. So hang tight with me here because I'm kind of improvising here. Here's the regional map here. There is actually a better chance of severe weather off to our south for today and tonight, mostly tonight. Slight risk and even an enhanced risk around Wichita southward there. So the better chances of severe weather, and we're going to see that chance is actually extending eastward into areas to our east on Thursday. And then check out Friday, actually areas to our east are under an enhanced risk of severe storms. But once again, we're kind of on the edge of that there for our neck of the woods here. So back to the closer map of us. You can see southeast Nebraska, a low-end chance of severe weather, but most of us will not see severe weather on Friday. Lincoln, maybe some showers and thunderstorms. So let's go back to the moisture. Here are the moisture. Here's the possible rainfall amounts And again, I talked about how some places are going to be very happy doing their rain dance, enjoying a quarter, half inch, 3/4 of an inch, maybe upwards of an inch or more, especially towards northeast Nebraska. But you go to the southwest, too much dry air, not as much moisture right in there. All right, I've been doing this the last couple of days, grabbing my keyboard. I'm going to go into my editor mode, and we're going to show you a couple of other forecast models here. So the one I just showed you is our in-house model. I'm going to switch over to the high resolution model, which goes out a couple of days here, just to give you another idea of what another model's thinking here. And again, look at the dry slot, except that's a little farther east into south central Nebraska and north central Kansas, and even parts of southeast Nebraska. So again, kind of some places disappointed, other places very happy. We're going to back this up here. Let's go with the Canadian forecast model now. And here we go. I may have to run through it twice here because the colors aren't loading in here. Numbers are loading in, the colors aren't. We may have to wait. Oh, there they are right there. So they just popped in. So let's play that through one more time here. Sometimes the information takes a little time to load in. So again, you just see that general trend, drier to the southwest. Now it's pumping out quite a bit of rain in the form of an inch or two in some areas here, which would be great news if a lot of us got that. I don't know if that may be a little too optimistic there. Let's go to the North American model. I've got 3 more models to show you here. And again, sometimes these take a little time to load in here, so hang tight here. So there's the North American model. And again, you see the drier air to the southwest, not as much moisture. Northern and eastern areas are where the better chances will reside. All right, on to the European model. Again, let's wait for that information to load in here. And again, you see the trends. Now this is a little bit better, but still drier, not as much rain to the southwest. This is hopeful for maybe a lot of places to maybe get an inch or so of rainfall. We'll see. And then finally, the GFS model. It's the last one we'll show you here. Wait for that info to load in. And again, has the drier air to the southwest, not as much moisture. But again, some places going to be very happy with what they get. You know, half inch, an inch, maybe a little bit more out there. So again, you look at this as more of a trend than anything. This, because all these models are very different, you look for the trends. Again, lower amounts of rain to the south and southwest, higher amounts to the north and to the east is how we're kind of looking at this right now. Forecast models are really backing off on the snow right now and keeping most of it to our north here. I'm only going to show you the one model, and that's our in-house model for snow. I'm not going to show the whole variety of models here because of time for me. But again, you can see that mostly just a limited amount of snow in northern and northwestern areas. Most of us will not see snow out of the system. It's just looking like it's going to be too warm. So even the stuff that does fall is going to be, a lot of it's going to be melting. Well, on the highs for today, high temperatures in the 40s and 50s later today on the cool side for your Wednesday. Tonight down into the 30s and 40s. But again, most of us staying above freezing. So outside of the northwest, most of us will not have to deal with any kind of snow with this system. Tomorrow's temperatures are going to be interesting with the sun coming out. The south and west are going to be much warmer than the north and east. Highs could get into the 60s to near 70 here, but stuck in the 40s in northern and northeastern areas here. These areas right here in between are kind of the wild card. A lot of that will depend on how soon the sun can come out tomorrow afternoon when that system departs our area. Tomorrow night into Friday morning, cooler air begins to dive south again. Here's the 20s up north, 20s and lower 30s there, 30s and lower 40s farther south. And Friday is going to be kind of a chilly, blustery day out there. We could be a little bit warmer in far southern and southeastern areas, but the farther north you go, the chillier it's going to be on your Friday. Friday night's going to be a cold night down in the mid to upper 20s and lower 30s. Saturday, a chilly and blustery day out there too, although not as chilly in the southwest. Could be closer to 60 there, but only in the 40s across northern and eastern areas there. So still kind of chilly and blustery. From there, it's going to get a lot better after a cold Saturday night. So looking long range again, best chances of moisture late this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow morning. The Friday chance is mostly going to miss us, so I'm only going a 20% chance there. After that, probably not much through the weekend here. Easter Sunday morning, if you're heading to an early sunrise service, a little chill in the air in the morning, but the afternoon looks really good. If you maybe have a gathering with a family or something, family members or something like that, looks okay there. Monday's still pretty good. Tuesday's going to be a little cooler with more clouds. I debated throwing a chance of rain in. we'll see. I do think our better chance of moisture is going to come at the end of next week around Thursday and Friday. So temperatures actually warming back up on Wednesday and Thursday, but then Thursday to Friday with that drop in temperatures comes our next chance of moisture. Let's take a look real quick at the forecast for North Platte here before we get to the long-range models here. My graphics are being a little delayed here. So again, you can see best chances of rain late this afternoon, tonight, and tomorrow morning. Limited chance Friday morning. Beyond that, again, after a cold start, Easter Sunday afternoon looks pretty good. Not bad on Monday. Tuesday, a little cooler. There's a small chance of maybe some moisture there. We'll keep it pretty mild on Wednesday and Thursday, but again, Thursday into Friday, that drop in temperatures as moisture chances return. Finally, let's just kind of end it with a look at the two of the long-range models here, the European model. And again, we've already talked in depth in a lot of detail about tonight and tomorrow morning, so we're not going to spend too much time on that. That moves on out. Again, there's that Friday chance. Unfortunately, most of the moisture stays to our north and to our east. Then we look down the road towards next week. Tuesday, very, very limited chance of moisture on Tuesday right there. So again, you're probably talking about just a small, that's why I didn't include the rain in the forecast right now. Then we look towards Thursday and Friday. That's probably our next best chance of moisture right there. And then finally, the GFS model, and we'll end it here after this one. Again, we've talked in a lot of details about tonight, tomorrow morning especially, the good rain, a little snow to the northwest, but mostly going to be rain for us. Friday's chance, unfortunately, is looking like it's mostly going to be far northern and eastern areas. A lot of dry air with that system, unfortunately, for our area. All the good moisture to our north and east. So then we look to Tuesday. And this is the main reason why I didn't include, even Monday maybe, but I didn't include any moisture yet for Monday and Tuesday. I just am not confident enough yet. But as we get towards Thursday and Friday, maybe even Wednesday night, but Thursday and Friday, maybe some moisture chances towards the second half of next week. So hopefully some better chances of moisture down the road. All right, well, that is everything I have for you today. So I want to thank everybody for watching on this Wednesday morning. Hopefully you get some rainfall, hopefully even snow. I don't think most of us will get snow, but hopefully you get some rainfall. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you again on Thursday morning. Take care and God bless. Bye.